Hi everyone, this is Peter from the Mindful Share Trader blog, and welcome to this weekly update of a few different markets. Today I'm going to have a look at oil, gold, Apple because it gets asked for quite a bit, and of course the S&P500, all of which I think are fairly important junctures at the moment. So we'll get stuck into it, and we'll start off by looking at the oil weekly chart, which you can see is up here on the screen. And we can see that oil had been in a long downtrend since July. It broke the trend here around about March. And since then, it now looks to be going sideways here in a bit of a trading range. So we could look on this rise here as being an first automatic reaction up to this support resistance here. And if we look at this chart, like I've said before, we always look for high volume. That's the big telltale as to what the smart money might be doing, and you can clearly see on this chart here this massive volume swell down the bottom here, which I think is a lot of potential buying going on in there. And so now I'd expect this to move sideways in a bit of a range for a while there's a few flush outs in there and a bit more accumulation from the smart money before they decide to mark this up and take it up again. And we've got a couple of resistance levels to get through here. The first one here is probably around about the $45 mark, and then above that we've got another one here around about the $57, $58 mark. So we've got a bit of a shorter bar here and coming off the top and some increase in volume here. So we might see there's a bit of weakness there, which might mean that the price will pull back a bit. And we really need to see a bit of a pullback to see how much strength is in this run as well. So we'll have a look at that in a couple of weeks and see exactly what that has done. So if we pan in and have a look at the daily, that might tell us a little bit more. And we can see that we've been in a steady uptrend here since end of January this year. We saw the bottom there. Again, we can see all these volume swells down the bottom here with this money coming in. And it's been a nice steady move up to this resistance here at about $47. Now, in recent days, we've seen some high volume on these two bars here and no further move to the upside. It hasn't quite got up to the top of this supply line here in the channel, and it's come back down. But Friday's action showed that, it looks like a bit of buying coming back in here on support. This could be a test back here on this support line here, ready for another move up. So hard to tell. It could come back down to this line here, and if it comes back down to here, that'd be a good buying opportunity. So that's my thoughts on oil at the moment. We'll move on and go to have a look at gold. And again, gold you can see has been in a steady downtrend since the middle of 2011. We had high volume up here right at the top, and we can see the result of all that. They distributed up here all through this area, and then it's come down since. And broke the support resistance here for a while. Volume picked up again all through here, and then we've had this bit of a run up to the supply line here. Now, hard to tell what's going on here really. We've got a lot of volume that's coming up on these bars here. Now, I don't like high volume on up bars. Usually that's a sign of distribution, but there is also a lot of supply sitting in that's trapped in here. And this could be absorbing all that supply before it moves on up further. So we'll have to watch this one over the next few weeks and see if this does in fact continue back down and continue the downtrend, or it breaks through that line and signals a change in trend, but it hasn't happened yet. If we go into the daily, we can see we've got this kind of rounding shape here where some accumulation took place. The price is then marked up towards this supply line, and then it's come back off that since. And we've got what's called a cup and handle pattern here. Now normally they preclude a breakout, so we could be seeing this break on up through there shortly. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. We look at Apple. Apple's been in a nice long uptrend for a while. This is the weekly chart. We had some buying coming in here, and then the price moved up to the supply line, came off there. We had another mark up here with an upthrust bar here. But But we didn't get a lot of that downward movement from that. And we would have expected a lot more than this. Now, what could be happening here is that the price has been taken back up into this area of supply, and that would normally be a good spot to short. But I'm not so sure. I think, as this has come down, it's come down on increased volume, but there hasn't been a massive lot of downward movement, especially the end of this week. There was a bit of a spring below the support there. So this could potentially continue to move up here, and wrong foot along a lot of the shorts in here. Hard to say. I mean, we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, there's plenty of room for downward movement still here down to this line here, and that would still maintain the long-term uptrend. So if we have a look at the daily, that might tell us a bit more. We can see on the daily here, we've got this this move up here. Some news came out here, obviously. The smart money sold into it. A bit of the momentum carried that up. They busted a few stops up here and then pulled the price down afterwards. But, it has moved up steadily since. And this bar here on very high volume, for me, indicates there's potential buying in there. And since that bar, these two next bars here have come down on lower volume, indicating, again, a lack of supply. We are in this little downtrend channel. We did have an oversold condition here. So we'll see next week if we move on up or we just continue down to this line here. Which then takes us now to the S&P 500. And we can see here's the weekly chart. We've had a nice move up since this little double bottom here. And I posted up that we had a target of about the 2I84 level, which we actually did hit this week. So we are at a vulnerable point here, where we could see a pullback into this range. I think there's a support and resistance range through here, so it's very possible that it could move back into there. But the action at the moment is still bullish. It's still heading up. So we'll have to see what happens again over the next couple of weeks with this. We are seeing this bit of a rounding over effect, but I don't see a lot of supply coming in here as of yet. We have got diminishing volume on this up move, which could be a bit of no demand, but I just get the feeling this is possibly going to head up further and break the all-time highs, at least this year. So we'll see what happens there. We pan into the daily. We've got this move. We had this accumulation zone here, which I speculated on the blog, and that was confirmed by this break up through support. Now, this could be what's called a trap up move, which is fooling everybody into thinking that things are all rosy and it's going to continue up. And we did have this bit of kind of not this bar here not really going anywhere, but look at this bar here on Friday. Increased volume, it came back down, it touched the support line, it finished off the bottom. It's a narrow spread. That really looks like potential buying in there as that's come back down. And again, we won't know till next week and see if we get any further move to the downside. But I think we're going to get a push on up higher here, and move beyond this target of what I had. All right, so that's really it. A quick overview of all these markets. I hope that you found some of that interesting. Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you on my blog and my updates over the next week or so. Okay, thanks a lot for checking out the videos. Don't forget to head on over to mindfulsharetrader.com and subscribe there to my blog and newsletter. You'll get a whole load of other extra free stuff as well. Like me on the Facebook page, and also check out some of the other videos that are on the YouTube channel. That's all there to help you. Thank you. Bye.